trust and hope that you started your week well and God amekukeep. And if you have seen the day of today, it's another day for you to thank God, for you to get up and chase your purpose, okay? And make sure each and every time that you wake up, or whatever purpose you're following, or whatever path you're taking, make sure aujipeleki, that God is guiding you and He's showing you the way to go. He's giving you assignments each and every day to accomplish so that you can get closer to your goal, you can get closer to your destiny, and you can be able to fulfill what He put in place for you. Amazing. My name is Sylvia Wanja. Tutakuwa na wewe hapa hadi 10 in the AM, and today we have a very, very interesting topic in relationships that we're going to discuss, and it's going to be very, very amazing. So make sure you follow through with us so that you can get to learn so much, and you can be able to tell a friend that tuweze kujifunza sisi wote pamoja, because it's a topic that affects each and every one of us. Okay, so hii ni time ya kuamsha watu wamelala nyumbani. I know kids are at home. Amsha siblings wote, kila mtu aketi ndio tuweze kupata a good amazing time. Okay, so we're going to have a quick run through of what we're going to discuss today. We're going to start with Tega Sikio, and then we're going to have the interview of today, and then we're going to have relation tips, and then we're going to call it a wrap. Nakumbuka leo ni Tuesday. We have African Tuesday request hour at the end of the show, and leo tuko na a bit of an interesting twist. Sawa? We're going to have one guest. We're going to have two guests, actually. So we're going to have one guest up until 9, and then we're going to have another guest who's going to also complement the topic, akituambia kitu special. So make sure you stick around for that, okay? Remember, you can follow MBCI TV across all social media platforms. That is Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, that is X, formerly Twitter, okay? And after that, we're going to have the radio frequencies. MBC now comprise of TV and radio, okay? So if you're not able to follow through with the programs that we are airing on TV, you can always tune in your radio if you can get the radio frequencies, so that people can be able to tell the frequencies that are in their particular towns, and they can be able to follow through. And remember, if your town is not represented in the frequencies, don't worry, we got you, okay? www.mbcimedia.co.ke is our online platform, so you can always tune in there and you can get a chance to follow through. Okay, we have Nakuru 89.5 FM, Eldoret 100.3 FM, Meru 96.8 FM, Migori 102.7 FM, Kapenguria 93.6 FM, Voi 90.0 FM, Webuye 98.0 FM, Kericho 87.9 FM, Kisii 97.7 FM, Kwale 91.7 FM, Nyeri 103.7 FM, and Kitui 101.3 FM, okay? So you can always follow through. We have amazing shows for you. We have news that is timely, so you can follow through with that on that particular side, okay? We've had a couple of events that are happening this week. It is a very eventful week. You can tell tumeingia ndani ya holidays, okay? Kuna the Kairos Youth Conference ambayo ilianza jana, and the theme is manifesting your glory. So please, young people, make sure you make your way to Kingdom Seekers Fellowship Nakuru. We're going to have an amazing time. It has been hosted by Apostle John Kimani William and Reverend Naomi Kimani. The guest ministers are Bishop Jim Mwando. We're going to have Reverend Evans Chumo. We're going to have Prophetess Winnie Andrew, and it's going all the way till Friday. So make sure you come through from 9 a.m. all the way till 5:30 p.m. and the worship minister is Sheila Juma. Again, I want to remind you, boarding is available for free, and it is free for all. It's an interdenominational meeting, so it is not set apart for particular people. And then there's the Destined for Greatness Camp, which started yesterday as well for grade 4 up to grade 8, hosted by Apostle John Kimani William and Reverend Naomi Kimani. It started yesterday, it's going all the way till Friday. The kids are at Jomo Kenyatta Girls High School. Kwa wale ambao hawakuweza kwenda kuboard, I think you can still make your way there. And if you're going to maybe kwenda ukirudigi, like una day call pia, you can try contact the number 0729264709 ndo uweze catch up if ulichelewa on that, okay? We also have other amazing activities that are coming up. We're going to start with the Nakuru Family Festival that is taking part this particular Saturday, that is 30th November at Cypress Park, Nakuru. Advance tickets for kids, 899, adults 200 bob. Get tickets for the kids, 1,000, and adults 250. So to get your advance tickets, you can dial star 672 star 55 hash, okay? I repeat again, star 672 star 55 hash. Kutakuwa na so many nice activities for the family. Kutakuwa na bouncing castles, slides, Ferris wheel, carousel, swimming, merry-go-round, virtual reality, bike racing, so many activities. Moji Shot Baba will be there to entertain the family, the kids. It's going to be an amazing time. Sawa, tuweze kubond, tuweze create that nice bond with our family through this particular festival. So please, 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 the 30th. Okay, make sure you make your way there so that you can be able to build that family bond. It's going to be an amazing time. You're going to have an amazing time, create memories that will go for a lifetime. Okay. And another activity that is coming up, we have the Teens Ablaze for Jesus Camp 2024 that is going to start from 9th to 14th December 2024, still at Jomo Kenyatta Girls High School, and registration is at 1200 bob. Okay, make sure you carry your Bible, your notebook, your beddings, that is a blanket and bed sheets, and those personal effects, and a plate and a spoon. Okay. And it's catered for by, it has been hosted, by Apostle John Kimani William and hosted by Reverend Naomi Kimani. We're going to have Pastor Julia Karanja there. We're going to have Prophetess Winnie Andrew. We're going to have Missionary John Minor. We're going to have Pastor Robert Kavoya there as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can call the number 0700-885-383. I take it again, 0700-885-383. Okay, the last event. Kingdom Seekers Fellowship Nakuru invites you all to Times of a Refreshing Conference. That is hosted by Apostle John Kimani William, and the guest ministers are Bishop Jim Mwando, Apostle Jesse Karanja. That is from the 3rd to 6th December 2024, Tuesday to Friday, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The climax will be on Friday with the Kesha, and it will happen at the Harvest Cathedral and Church Without Walls. The theme is derived from Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 25. I will refresh tired bodies, I'll restore tired souls. Okay, it is free and open to all, so let's make our way there and get a chance to be imparted and to be refreshed even as we complete this beautiful year. Okay, and for me, you can follow me across all the social media platforms at official Sylvia Wanja. You can send in a text, you can drop a text, and maybe we can have a conversation right there. Okay, so we're going to get the question of today that we're going to engage in even as we're continuing with the discussion, and it's in line with the topic that we are going to discuss today. And the question is, what's the hardest boundary you've ever had to set, and how did it impact your life? What is the hardest boundary that you've ever had to set, and how did it impact your life? You can send us your feedback using our numbers 0721-105-105. That is WhatsApp, and also normal text message 23814 short code ambayo ni absolutely free, and also MBCI TV Facebook page and MBCI TV YouTube official down in the comment section. But for now, tuingie ndani ya Tega Sikio. Amazing. So wacha tuingie ndani ya Tega Sikio. Now this one is a bit of a dilemma. There's someone who has sent us a text na akona tatizo kidogo. I would like to read it verbatim, lakini juu ya time wacha nisisome word for word, but I'll just try summarize it. Okay, so there is this lady, let's give her a name. That's not her name. Anaitwa Sophia. Okay, hiyo si jina yake, ni pseudonym. Sawa? So Sophia works as a project manager. Anapenda kazi yake sana, and she's this person who we will call her a good person, a nice person, mwenye anajua kuinteract na watu, like hananga issues na anyone. She lives at peace with everyone around her. Now she's very dedicated to her work, ana deliver assignments on time, anafanya kila kitu anafaa kufanya on time. Lakini sasa imefika mahali watu kwa ofisi hawamuongeleshi. Now here is why people are not talking to her. Let's say Sophia amezoea sana kufanya watu kazi. And I don't think it's wrong for you to help out, but the problem is she used to engage in so many activities za kusaidia watu. Like mtu alikuwa anajua kama umechelewa kuhandle kitu, useme utapea Sophia, atafanya. Kama umechelewa like ukimapproach tu, atafanya. But now on this particular day, akaapproachiwa na her superior, okay, her manager, and you know managers are very influential. So akamapproach na akamwambia, there is this project that I want you to complete. The project wasn't hers. She had a different project, amemaliza on time, but now another group failed to do their assignment, and now it was being given to her because walikuwa nafaa kupitch to a client the next day on Monday. So alipewa on Friday. Now here's the catch. Yes, alimaliza yake mapema akahand in bila errors. Now that Saturday, her sister was going to Arorashio. And now she had promised that she was going to be there, like she was going to be present at that particular Rorashio. So ameletewa hiyo kazi na the manager on Friday. Now remember, Sophia is a good person. She's very nice, extremely nice. Does she know how to say no? She doesn't know how to say no. So aliletewa project, and what did she say? Ni sawa, nitafanya. But kumbuka, on Saturday pia she was supposed to attend the Rorashio. So obviously ataki transnight your Friday. Project ya a whole week haizi maliza. So, and the sister is waiting on the other side. So kamua, let me just go to the Rorashio, and then I'll try explain to the boss, because since niliandi ni yangu, iya niongeze time. But kumbuka, client anakuja lini? Monday. Na anataka kazi. The moment ameanza kuonyesha anataka kupichiwa that particular piece of work. So she went to the Rorashio. Come Monday, she doesn't have the project. The client ameketi kwa boardroom, anangoja ikuje ipichiwe, but there is no project to pitch because hakuwa ameifanya. So akapewa the warning letter, and now because of your influence the manager has that particular organization, no one is talking to her because she didn't accomplish that particular task yenye alikuwa amepewa. Now anatuliza aje, if you are in her shoes, ama like your situation, was she wrong to do what she did? The fact that alienda Rorashio, but sasa kumbuka alikubali kazi on Friday, right? But sasa hange hata Rorashio akaenda, na bado hangeweza complete your kazi by Monday. Now she's asking, was it wrong of her to like go to the Rorashio that she had planned prior to, and she had already done her work? Na should she be blamed for this client mwenye hakupata kazi yake? Tupatie your opinions using our numbers 0721105105, that is normal text message, and also via WhatsApp, and also 23814 short code, which is absolutely free, and also MBCI TV Facebook page and MBCI TV YouTube official down in the comment section. Tuambie, wewe unafilaje? Alifanya makosa kuikubali in the first place, ama how would you have gone about it if you were in her shoes? So for now, watch it to put a very short break, but we'll be coming back with the guest of today so that we can get to learn so much.
Nao walimshinda kwa damu ya mwana kondoo na neno la ushuhuda wao. Ni kitabu cha Ufunuo 12 mstari wa 11.
So mi siku ya 4 ndo nilipatikana asubuhi.
Kila siku ya Jumapili kuanzia saa 2:30 za usiku, na vilevile Alhamisi kuanzia saa 12 za jioni.
Babu na shosho akasema huyu mwanamke atoke kwa boma ama nitupe kwa choo.
Itakuwa ni kipindi cha uhalisia ambacho kinakuletea shuhuda za watu mbalimbali.
Nimeshikwa nikiwa pia tuko na bangi kwa soko,
ambao wamesaidiwa na Mungu. Ukiwa nami Paul Kagi.
Experience a journey of spiritual elevation and immerse yourself in the most uplifting worship moments. Watch the best of worship culmination every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's an awe-inspiring event featuring anointed worshipers and going beyond the studio to connect with young souls eager to embrace the divine presence in educational institutions. Get ready to elevate your spirit and embrace the true essence of worship with Maria Omondi and her incredible team of worshipers.
Marriage is not a mark of completeness, nor is singlehood a mark of incompleteness. Most people look forward to married life, but when is the right time to start a relationship?
The two shall become one, isn't it? A man should not do this, a woman should not do this. I would say, unless it is a function. These others can be negotiated.
Marriages are meant for us to enjoy and not endure one another.
For better, for worse. That is what we call an affirmative covenant. Are we showing fidelity?
Don't miss the Marriage Classroom to learn more about relationships and marriage.
Relations in a relationship that is not yet in, joined together, you are not in marriage, is a no. It will never be right now, it will never be right tomorrow. It will never be okay. even in the future.
Every Sunday, only on MBCI TV.
Amazing. Welcome to the Relationship Talk Show. My name is Sylvia Wanja. Now, today we're having a very, very interesting conversation that is really, really going to impact all our lives. So I would urge you to get closer so that we can get to learn so much, na tuweze kujielimisha, tuweze kukua, na tuweze kuwa the best version of ourselves, okay? Each and every day we should struggle, we should strive to be better versions of ourselves each and every day, okay? So the question of today is one that is very, very interesting. Maybe we can take it so that we can get to engage and discuss it. So what's the hardest boundary you've ever had to set, and how did it impact your life? What's the hardest boundary you've ever had to set, and how did it impact your life? Sometimes it's important for you to set boundaries when you're interacting with other people, so that you can set the pace of how they will treat you. Sometimes you welcome disrespect by how open you receive some particular comments. But it's important for you to set boundaries to maintain respect, to maintain relationships with people around you, to make sure that you're not being in a position whereby you're being used. Unatumika vibaya. It's a very popular term. Nasikia watu wananitumianga vibaya sana. But who opened the door? Yes? So today's topic is about setting boundaries. Okay, sometimes you need to learn how to say no, and just because you say no, that doesn't mean that you're a terrible person. No, you can be a good person. There is something I learned this week. Allow me to share this with you. There's a difference between being a nice person and a good person. A nice person is a people pleaser. A good person has boundaries. Here's how. Kuna wakati ambapo like you're afraid to say no because you don't want the other person to think you're a bad person. So you say yes to everything, even the wrong things, so that people can see that you are a nice person. But you can say no and still be a good person because you say no with your reasons. No, because this doesn't go in line with my morals. So you don't compromise who you are to make others happy. Now that is a people pleaser. That is being nice. So strive to be good and not nice. Okay, good people have boundaries. Amazing. So we already have the guest with us today. We're going to get the guest profile, then get started with the conversation that we're going to have today. So let's get the guest profile.
Pastor Benjamin Ndirango is a dynamic and compassionate youth pastor with a heart deeply rooted in transforming the lives of young people. Serving under the leadership of Apostle John Kimani William and Reverend Naomi Kimani, he is known for his engaging, relatable approach to ministry, which bridges generational gaps and ignites passion in the youth to live out their faith. A former professional teacher, Pastor Benjamin brings a unique blend to mentorship, education, and pastoral care to his role. Using his academic background to guide and nurture the minds and hearts of young believers, his style is both inspiring and practical, equipping the youth to face real-world challenges with wisdom and confidence. Supported by his wife, Charity Njeri, Pastor Benjamin is also a devoted husband and a father of 2 wonderful children. Together, they model a God-centered family life that reflects love, faith, and service. Charity's warmth and kindness complements his ministry, making them a beloved couple within the church community. Pastor Benjamin's passion for youth is evident in every sermon, youth retreat, and outreach he leads. He has a God-given ability to connect with young people, understand their struggles, and guide them towards a deeper relationship with Christ. His ministry is a testament to his unwavering commitment to raising a generation of spiritually strong, purpose-driven young leaders.
Yes, amazing. So that is a guest profile. We can get started with today's conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
Asante.
We really appreciate having you. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
You're a returning visitor over, visitor, you're a returning family member, because MBCI is a family. Yes, and we're happy to have you each and every time.
Sure.
So how have you been before we get
fine.
started?
I thank God I'm doing well.
Yes.
Myself and my family. We thank God. The last time I was here, tulikuwa 2 kids.
Yeah, says it to
plus
me.
1.
We thank the Lord. Congratulations.
We thank God. Amen.
Yes. So let's get started with today's topic. Tunaongelea kuhusu setting boundaries.
Alright.
Na ni topic ambayo, let me say, ime raise a lot of question because watu wengi wanashindwa kusema no watu wengine hawajui how far is too far.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know how to interact with people and tell them, hey, shika breaks happen.
Sure.
So maybe we can start with that. What is the meaning of setting boundaries, and why is it important mtu akuwe na boundaries?
Yes, first of all, I'll say the topic of boundary is key. Not only in relationships, but in all other aspects of life. Because the Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse number 12, I can do all things. Everything is permissible for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have all it takes to do so many things. But the Bible says, but not everything is profitable. And the Bible says, that is Paul who now, talking to the Corinthians, he says, I'll not be mastered by just anything. I'll not be mastered by just anything.
Yeah.
You know, somebody said you can never be a ruler without rules. So it's always key. And it's in any area of life. Because, as you said, not everything is beneficial.
Yeah.
Life has a lot to offer in anything you decide to do.
Yeah.
Or anything you decide or allow yourself to get involved in. But to realize not everything good is good for you. Right? So unless you have boundaries, I mean, you'll never have limits.
Yeah.
There will not be limits in your life. You'll end up absorbing everything, and some things are harmful.
Very true.
You see, some things are harmful, some things are harmful. We are not the first ones to talk about boundaries. It was there in the Bible. If you read Exodus chapter number 19, when God tells Moses, tell the people, I'll visit them in that day, tell them to prepare.
Yeah.
And then he's told, make sure you mark boundaries. Make sure you set boundaries. That is, make sure you mark a line where the children of Israel should not go beyond. And then he says, anyone who crosses, even if it's an animal, death.
Automatically.
Definitely. So why have I said that? Is because boundaries are not, when you talk about boundaries, not something to take light. It's a serious matter.
Very serious.
That should be taken with all the seriousness it deserves. Because it helps to preserve seriousness, if I may say so, playing with words.
Yeah.
So when we talk about words, again, the Bible says in Proverbs 25 and verse number 28, just want to bring it to show it's very biblical all around.
Yeah.
All around. The Bible says that a person without self-control is like a city without walls. In other words, you can be invaded from any side.
Yeah, true.
Anything can just enter.
Anything can have access.
Yes, you'll not have control. You see, boundaries are meant to help you and help other people as well. It works both ways. Yeah, it's a two-way thing. It helps you and helps the other person in whichever way, in whichever place that you've decided.
Yeah.
Now, as I say what boundaries are, I like to say that it's one thing to set boundaries and it's another thing to mark boundaries. You can set boundaries na useme hapa nipo pangu. Do you know there are people ambao wameweka bacons kwa shamba lakini hawajaweka fence?
Got to open.
Yeah, so it's never that you have set the limits. That is not the end. You still have to mark them, and we'll be talking about something else called guarding them. There are people who set them, but they don't know how to guard them.
Yeah, everyone just violates them.
Yes. Again, there are people who have set boundaries, and it's only them that know their boundaries.
Hakuna mtu mwingine anajua.
Definitely.
Amejiwekea tu.
Yes. So hata kwako usipoweka fence, ng'ombe zitakuwa tu zinapita.
Very true.
You see, so, yes, na mtakuwa in conflict. So unasikia watu wengine wakiambiwa wewe usiweke fence. Usiweke fence kama utaki ng'ombe zipite after all. You see that?
Yeah, true.
Kama utaki watu wapitaye kwa shamba yako, weka fence. Tunajua ni shamba yako na tunajua imeanzia pale hadi pale. You have already set the boundaries. After all tunajua ni 50 by 50 ama ni quarter.
Yeah.
But you have to mark. That is where now people even get to the point of fencing. Fencing means you have spoken them out. You are making your boundaries known.
Yeah.
You see that?
This is the lane, don't cross it.
Yes, and that's why some unakutaga mpaka wameandika trespassing is against whatever against the law is punishable, that you can be sued.
Yeah.
So that is guarding the boundaries zako. Hizo ni the physical za mashamba na kwako pia.
Yeah.
Having said that, just to appetize someone, I'll say boundaries is simply, especially in the context of relationships, it is deciding what is acceptable in your relationships.
Yeah.
It is like setting the values and the principles you're going to work with. Simply put, I'll say, It's deciding how far is far with what.
How far is far with what?
Yes, how far is far with what.
Wow.
Because especially in relationships, if you don't have boundaries, and you know, boundaries, mnazisetting in different areas. Huh? Kuna boundaries are what to say, kuna boundaries are what to do, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
You see that? So it is deciding how far is far. It is deciding what you will do and what you will not do in that relationship.
Yeah.
Deciding what you'll do and what you will not do. You see that?
Yeah.
I can give an example because many relationships today are failing because there are no boundaries. They're like cities without walls.
Yeah, you have access.
Watu wanaingia kubangaiza, I mean kupush tu. Awe kama kupush. Ndio hiyo wanasemaga ni na push na ule dem. Na push na ule. Atika flow tukasonge hapana. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I'll say about boundaries is deciding where to end and where not to end. I mean where to. It also decide that it also helps you know where I end and where you start. Like ukiweka fence, inakusaidiaga ujue this is where I end, this is where the other person starts. And boundaries are important. Number one, they reduce conflicts.
Yeah, very true.
And they reduce conflicts. Because, na ndo tumesema sio kitu unajeka, especially kwa relationships, these are things that should be decided from the start.
Mtu akijua.
It's something you should make known from the start. Unajua, that is why you realize relationships mingi watu wanaanzaga na kutafuta vitu zingine. They start by asking some of the things ambazo they are pleasurable.
Yeah.
But hiyo pleasure haita last kama hakuna boundaries. Kutakuwa mnakuwa mnagongana sana.
Yeah.
Sana.
True.
When I got into a relationship with my wife, because kitu moja sio kila mtu anasetigi boundaries.
Yeah.
Zile wale watu wenye kwa relationship wenye wana set boundaries na watu wenye relationships zao ziko on purpose. Because if you ask me, I'll say there are two kinds of types of relationship. Kuna idle na kuna purposeful.
Yeah.
Najua idle ni kama ile engine ina idle tu. You know, an idling engine.
Yeah.
Gari ishawashwa.
Lakini imetulia tu.
Lakini imetulia tu.
Tuko tu sawa.
Na by the way, do you know kuna vile natumiaga fuel. Actually wanasemaga, that's a research I did kitambo kidogo. Wanasemaga ya kwamba an idling engine natumia mafuta mingi kuliko yenye ungetumia kuwasha na usonge.
So you keep staying and keep losing more kwenye huko.
Bado my emotions unatumia. Bado you are using what is needed, what you need wakati you can move. You see that? So idling ni wale wenye your relationship haina purpose. Hamja define direction.
Na uko sawa.
Nyi mko tu hapo hivi. Mko tu hapo hivi. Utakuta kuna conflicts mingi sana. Utakuta huyu anataka hii na jujai sema utajikuta unamwambia hapana, but after all mbona, but you didn't say it from the start. Have you ever heard of guys ambao walikuwa na push na msichana alafu siku moja like there's a lady alikaribishwa na jamaa kwake. Hawako na boundaries ya kama wanafaa kutembeleana. All right. So madam akatembea, akapikiwa chakula, akakula kitoweo. Kumbe jamaa alikuwa na target ya kumfanya kitoweo, nimeachia hapo. So you see later on the guy is like, I mean, if you don't give me that, then I don't know what we are doing in this relationship.
What? Alisema tu blankly.
It's like we are not after the same thing.
Yeah, so what are we doing?
So kama unafikiria wewe kama unajua purpose ya relationship, wewe ndio unajua, usiassume.
Wewe mwingine anafikiria kama wewe.
Kama kuna kitu imeua relationships mingi ni assumptions. Au msana kwa gana maboundary hata akuya ameokoka anapigaga ndimi define.
Wacha iseme. Just know it from the start.
Let the person know. It will be good for both of you.
But sasa pastor kidogo. Hapo kwa if you don't say them from the start, unajua we're still growing and evolving and learning and relearning and unlearning some things. So what if you are not aware of a particular boundary, hujaipata experience yenye inafanya come out, do you still bring it up ama utakuwa ushachelewa bring up at that particular moment?
We advise tuanze na wenye hawajaingia. Life is too short to learn from your own mistakes. If you want to make all mistakes now, learn from yourself. Life is too short to learn from your own mistakes. So there are people we've seen in life that made several mistakes. You see, mkikama pamoja, amuifanyagi kama kesi, but you just come and you're like, you must have observed some relationships, because you're not the first one to get into a relationship.
Very true.
You must have observed several relationships, why they failed. Na una mabeste umewahi sikia, not unless I wish kwa dunia, because there's nothing new under the sun.
Very
we are the
true.
ones that are new to problems. But no problem is new to man. So unafaa kuwa umecheck, because unatumiaga life za watu as a point of reference, na study guide. So hiyo inakusaidia ujue hapa umewahi fanya hivi. Before uingie kwa relationship, piga study. I mean, just research. Nini nafanyaga ma relationships zingine zianguke? That is, if you are in for a relationship that will benefit, a relationship that you can derive value from, then kuna vitu utaangalia. Like for me, there are several things I had checked from different people. Nikajua kuna ndugu fulani, kuna makosa alifanya. Alijiamini sana, anapigaga ndimi. Akajua yeye hata sister akikuja kwake hakuna. Acha nikwambie. Wakati sister aliingia ndimi, from what he says, ndimi zilizima tu raga akarealize kumbe mwili na roho ni vitu mbili. Akajua umuhimu wa kutoroka kama Joseph. Akajua Biblia ikosei ikisema flee. Haisemi rebuke. Hizo si za kurebuke.
You just run.
So there are people who've seen mistakes za watu, then use them as the point of reference. Like when we were getting to our relationship, I told my wife, tukawa tunakula story letu mnaongea like, but what are some of the relationships umewaiona and you're like, you'll never want your relationship to be like that. Mimi usiniambie ujui, because how comes ujui hauna any? No,
you're looking forward to getting there, you need to have something.
Basi before tuanze niwende utafute ujue. No, it's that serious. Don't just tusine tunachukuliaga jokes, but they are very serious. Tena uende kama polisi. Hapana. Then I also told her some of the relationships and marriages nimeona na singependa. Then mko tu hapo vipi mmetulia. But they what leads to that, because kama siku moja Pastor Elliot akihubiri anasema unakuta saa hii bibi anasema kama nikienda binguni nitakuta huyo mzee na alikuwa bwana yake, ati heri nikosa kwenda. Well, whereas when they were starting they loved each other. They were lovesick for each other. Oh man, love, but what happened
in between?
Yes, so things start so well. So what happened? Study. Think it out within yourself. What could be the reason for that? You see that? And you're doing it all pamoja. Na mukiangalia vitu hizo, then there is another question ambayo tulikuwa tunajiulizaga pia. What are some of the relationships and marriages ambazo umeangalia and they are like, I'm not saying mine will be, ours will be like that, but they are good lessons to learn from. Then we picked some. Ukiwa kwa relationship na mse mwenye jaiona yenye imeharibika na akalearn from hiyo, hizo mistake atarudia tu.
Because hajaziona. The joining mistake that is not supposed to happen.
Kama uliona madam vitu kwa zenye walikuwa wanafanya na haukuona makosa, hata wewe akikuja hakuna makosa ataona.
Very true.
Hakuna makosa. So yeye atakuwa anakuja kama ni msichana, she's after the guy touching her whichever way anataka. Like I'm here. Because yeye hakuna makosa anaona kama hiyo. So starting from the start is usually a very key thing. You know, for instance, unajua campus wanasemanga salamu ni hug. But me I didn't hug anybody in campus.
Oh, okay.
Mimi sijasema ni
umeguza Gen Z wengi sana. Hiyo ndo mfumo ya salamu.
Well, lakini you will realize this later. Na si ndo sababu kuna vitu mingi sana zimebomoka. Do you know, sisi when you were in a relationship, we set boundaries back a hug.
Oh, so there was no hugging.
Yeah.
Wow, from the beginning. Hey, hi Gen Zs.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Is it that stucky hug?
No. If you wanted to, ilikuwa normal.
Ukipita mahali nyama inachoma, so naomba kwa wanatuboge vile wanaweka maji ndio kaarufu kapae. But is it always that take the meat despite that it is calling you? No, so feelings niko nazo. Kuna wakati hata unaketi naye unasikia ni kama huyu unasikia kumbeba. Huyu unasikia tu hata kama he won't kiss me aniume hapa, at least nisikie mdomo yake imekaribia. So you are a human being. You are a human being. So na hiyo tu kwanza ilikuwa time ya corona. Tulikuwa tunasalimia za corona.
What? Hapo hivi. Hata elbow hata si gota. Ni elbow.
But again, we are human beings. I always there are times wisdom now si mbaya. Wisdom muhimu.
Yeah.
Wisdom is profitable. Yeah. You know, like get wisdom. So because I knew she's a lady.
Yeah.
And sisi we are different. Sindio?
Yeah.
Na si atistaki hiyo hug. Kuna time nilikuwa nasikia kama naitaka sana. Kifua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that contact.
I think the closest ambao tulifanya the closest ambao tulifanya was aside wanani ile ni kama kama mmesonga. Nothing is there. And then unajua it is something you learn. So there are times we'll sit and I'm like, I'll make her know what. I mean, in a clean way, you express your feelings to the person. Akaya kijua.
I'm valued.
So you mean bado kuna ki attraction.
Something.
You see that?
Yeah.
Because tena kama mnaona na hakuna sexual attraction, tupidia mbali. Actually Apostle ameandika kitabu inaitwa Choosing the Best Marriage Partner. Na one of it in sexual attraction, lakini anasema it shouldn't override your mind.
It shouldn't be everything.
It shouldn't be everything. I mean, you should still remain in control. Kitabu ingine ameandika inaitwa Sinner's Cancer, anasema man was created with a wall ya kumprotect against sexual whatever. Hizo ma sexual desire. Si Mungu ndo aliweka hizo sexual desire. Na ziko kwa kila mtu baa kwa katoto. Kwanza katoto kakianza ile sexual realization, nitagoaje sexual discovery kitu kama hiyo. Wakati mtoto anaanza kurealize kuna tofauti yani kiguza mkono na kiguza private part yake na ni kama kuna tofauti. You realize that we are sexual beings. That is true. So baadaye utakuja kurealize ya kwamba ni kitu iko ndani, but you should be in control. So there is a wall. Hii wall watu ndo wanabomoaga wenyewe. For instance, ni sawa tu, wacha watu waseme ati unajua ndio salamu za maisha. Ati wacheni kujifanya weak. Sawa. Ni sawa, wacha tuendelee kujifanya weak. You know, one of the things that makes people not to set boundaries in some areas is overconfidence.
Ile I can do it, iko nini?
Hiyo campus na hizo hug, uko immorality imepa.
Very true.
And hata kwa yes. No, kifua ya msichana ikilelea kifua yangu ni mgongo. Hapana. Sio bag. No, msichana kukuhug si the same na atikuvaa bag na huku mbele. Hapana.
It's different.
Na mtu asikudanganye. Unless ako sensitive huku kwa kifua. No, it's about being real.
Yeah.
Actually, that's when you realize baadaye kuna kinatagwa self-awareness. It helps people.
Yeah.
Whereby unaweza kujua emotions zako, unajua strengths zako. Mimi kitu moja nilikuja kurealize ni ya kwamba as much as I'm born again, ni realize I'm not strong when it comes to some things. My friend, I had never hugged a lady. Huyu madam akuje kunihug. Ai, tutaanguka na yeye tukionaga. Utaanguka na ukionaga tu hivi. That is why we hear some people that thought were strong. In Kikuyu they say Jabero dagwane moshakwe. In other words, a giant inaweza kaangushwa na msokoro inataka aje hiki kitu kia mahindi.
Hiyo nini? Inaitwa ni
msokoro.
Unajua mshakwe.
Bas, mshakwe. Watu wanafaa kujua mshakwe. Wazungu ni you see the maize.
Yes.
The maize cob.
Now remove
the maize.
It's the maize cob.
Hapana.
Kizungu ilikuja na meli.
Remove the maize now.
Yes.
The maize seeds.
Yeah.
What you remain with.
Yes, that is what can.
That is what the mshakwe. So that's what we call mshakwe.
Yeah.
So it can make a giant fall. A huge giant can fall because of that.
Yeah, something minute.
Yes. So people think they are very strong.
Yeah.
There's a time I almost fell thinking I'm strong. A story for another day.
Yeah.
There's a time I almost fell thinking that I'm strong.
Yeah.
Na tumetoka kesha. So tumenoka kesha tumejaa na Roho Mtakatifu.
Yeah.
Then nilibaki sasa mimi ndo nasindikiza a certain lady na nikaona hii masaa si mzuri, nikamwambia in my house no lady had ever entered. No lady had ever entered. Mpaka majirani walikuwa wanasema wewe siwache hata sister yangu akuje atembea at least nyumba ijue siku moja kutakujwa. So this one because it was around 5 asubuhi 4-5.
Yeah.
Akakaribia kulichemka. No, ni sawa. Watu wananiangalia hapa and they're like, what do you have to say that? Yeah, we say it just to help people understand that it's real.
It happens.
It happens. Vilichemka. By the time lakini tunashukuru kwa sababu hata kama vilichemka havikuiva, havikupikwa,
iliacha kupikika,
lakini ni hatari.
Don't try it.
Don't try it.
Yeah.
But you see, I was overconfident. I'm a tongue speaking brother.
Yeah.
I'm so strong.
I can overcome it.
Wacha nikwambie kijana, wakati wenye huyo madam atakalia hapo, utajua hakuna kitu unajua. Utajua ujui.
Hapa wewe ni kubaya.
Utajua hata mwili na communicate na so you see, one of the reasons inakuaga hiyo watu kukua overconfident. Mimi I'll call that one of the major setback ya boundaries.
Yeah.
Ile overconfidence. Na ile ingine overconfidence na wewe mwenyewe, na saa zingine uko overconfident na mtu. Now, mimi tukimit na my wife, I was she knew me as a preacher ever since we met kitambo sana.
Yeah.
So she knew I fear God. Mind you, tulijua na tukiwa form 1, lakini nilimproposia na ku-express feelings zangu as God led me 10 years later.
10 years.
Hata kama alikuwa ameget to a relationship somewhere else. Na nilimbrotherhood ile real. So she knew this guy is principled. So had I not brought issue ya boundaries, alikuwa like with this guy, mambo ni settled.
Yeah.
Usiwahi trust mtu, wewe ndo unajijua.
You don't know the other person.
Yes, actually I had to come and tell her, well, thank you, I'm a pastor, but can I help you with something?
Yeah.
I'm weak. Mimi ni hug nianguke na wewe. No. Ni sawa, strong people, good for them. Strong people, good for them. But not how strong. Wanaanguka kama kitu ingine. Vibaya sana.
But acknowledging that you have that weakness, it will help you with set boundaries better. Because you know, ukicross up ni kubaya.
Na hiyo ndo self-awareness. Ladies, unajua kuna kitu tu jamaa kikuu.
Ni hivyo.
Wewe ni hivyo, usha melt.
Yeah.
Like, that's why people need to have hiyo self-awareness. Unajua self-awareness ni ujijue tu.
Yeah.
Maneno rahisi tu, jijue. Ujue weakness zako, ujue strength zako, and all that.
Yeah.
So, overconfidence ni shida moja. Ile kujiamini extra ama kuamini mtu mwingine. Boundaries nafaa kusetiwa from the start, if you ask me. So, I was giving an example of ours. Setu tulisetio ya hakuna kuhagiana. And people are like, wewe ni mtafu sana. Please, this is me.
Yeah.
Your guy is strong. Continue. I was like, I had never hugged someone. No.
So this is something.
No, kwetu sisi, we are 3 brothers.
Yeah.
So if you have ever hugged your brother,
it's different.
Lakini ujue wakati kuhug brother yako na kuhug mtu mwenye uko na emotion na to feelings na ni tofauti.
Yeah, very true.
So, but I kept on telling her, when I marry you, kiss 100. Alafu naondoka hapo, hiyo ni kuskip. Sasa sasa hiyo mwewe ikuja hapo yote niwaambie, tunaweza simamisha show kidogo ni mhug, alafu ni mbebe ni muinue. Anybody will ask? No. Sasa hata nikibeba wife yangu munione nimembeba kuku pale hivi. Ambia ni raundi ukanyange ground. Ni mimi na wewe. Like hakuna mtu atakuja kuniripoti ati wewe nimekupeleka kwa apostle. Apostle will be like, wow.
That's good.
Wow. Because kesi mingi za watu wenye wanapigana. Chenye tu nitaambiwa ni mapenzi peleka nyumbani. But nobody will ask me.
Yeah.
Right now, even if I ukute, I'm like, and I've never done that. Yeah. It seems baya. So like, I'm on my way, and then labda we are waving each other goodbye. Kihag na kakis. Shida iko wapi? Huyo ni mtu wako.
Yeah, that's true.
So hakuna issue. So you know they say, okay, this is how I put it. Devona is akataka akuibie ka box ka chocolate, akunyime opportunity ya kuenjoy kampuni ya chocolate.
Anakupea tu
ni patience tu.
Yeah.
Na hii story ya papa inakuwaga last. Inakuwaga last.
Yeah.
Kama kuna kitu kingine pia, although that one now comes into why people are breaking the boundary. So for me, zile boundaries nye tuliset ilikuwa hiyo kwanza ya hug. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
This is me. People are different. That's what tunasema self-awareness.
Very true.
Nilikuwa nasikia ni kama mziniambia mova spiritual. Hata mkisema hivyo ni sawa. Mimi nimesema huyu ni mimi. Self-awareness. Nilijijua. So I was like, sikuwa nikitaka kumuita dia kwa sababu hata Safaricom wanamuita dia.
Dia, kila mtu ana. Yeah.
Lakini nilikuwa nataka nimuite still another name. So we derived a kajina. Because I was feeling like, mzee nikimuita sweetheart, zile vitu zinaingia kwa kichwa. Kai.
Ni mbaya pale uko like
nikimuita honey. That was me. That was me. You know, ladies want to hear these good names.
Yeah, very true. They
So
want to feel
hata
appreciated.
hata ukifungaga mfereji pale, tafuta majina ya huyu mtu ajue enyewe you are a honey to she is a honey to you. You
Yeah.
know.
So you came up with something unique.
So I'm like, na hapo ndipo ilianza wanie. So like wa mine.
Okay. Okay.
And it extended.
Yeah.
Because and then later on leo hii sasa ni ndo stamuita.
Utaita zote.
Sasa ndo ni ndo stamuita
Nothing,
sasa.
you can't hold
Ikalikuwa
back.
tu kaboundary kakusaidia mfike penye mnafaa.
Yeah.
Kakufika. Then the other one was we could not meet in segregated places ama isolated places. Kinaumanaga.
Yeah. Things can get ugly.
Wewe sasa ndo umeweka vizuri. Things can get ugly.
Yes.
Ajua nilirealizigi hizi boundaries ni muhimu kwa sababu hata mnaweza mkaenda in an open place na mfanye vituko.
But with the boundaries, you have something to keep you in check.
I was a pastor. Amen.
Amen.
Nikuulize kwanza, una imagine kile kitu yenye nakuja kwa mind yako kama unaweza kufanya? Siku unaweza haribika. Sasa I realized one day we in a hotel ka public. Lakini inaitagwaje? Meza hiyo yenye wanatandikaga inaitagwaje?
Hiyo tamba.
So imeenda chini, imeenda hadi chini.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, isipokuwa ni boundaries. Kuna kitu unaweza fanya na mkono na mtu asione.
Yeah.
Sitaongea kuhusu social relationship. Kuna kitu unaweza fanya na mguu na mtu asione.
Very true.
Vitu mingi sana. So was it so as much as mko na boundaries isolated places, kuna kitu kingine more. Like I remember we did this.
Yeah.
Because vile una communicate boundaries ina matter pia kwa mtu wako.
How you say it.
Na mimi nasemaga I wish ianze na jamaa.
Atasaidia kuset pace.
Ukiwa jamaa ndio uko after the boundaries na the lady is not. You stand a better chance ya kumwin.
Than a lady doing the
lakini
same for a guy.
the guy ndio hauko na bound
Kitaumana.
Inaweza kuwa ugly vile umesema. You see?
Yeah.
So, na mara mingi when a guy is not strong enough to guard the boundaries, the ladies usually, because unajua ladies ni emotional na wao kuna vile in terms of love kuna vile wanaikachigi haraka kuliko sisi.
True.
Sisi tunakaa kama zile kuni zingine ngumu by the time washa sasa ikiwaka imewaka.
Yeah.
Lakini ladies as much as yao ni unajua hizi kuni na mnisamehe. Unaona hizi kuni za kuwasha moto?
Yeah.
Like you catch love so fast. I mean if you ask me it happens like that to many. So I think I'll say kwa hiyo boundaries there is something tulikuwa tunaambiana that I was talking about how you say something. Is that so?
Yeah.
So there's a way you communicate it. And I've said the man matters a lot kwa issues of boundaries, especially when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Now, in case the man hana boundaries, the ladies, what do you do? Haukuji na kumkashifu. Wewe na wewe. Kwani unaka principles?
That's not how
Be
you do it.
wise. There is a way to bring it out. Like now for me as a man, for me this is our beginning. Kila mtu na yake. Na mtu wako anaelewa lugha yako. Si ndio?
Yeah.
Bora unaileta. I always say how you say something is as important as what you say. So how did I bring it out? I was like I shared something I learned.
Yeah.
You know, because hizo dates zikuwagi tu za kushinda aki I like your nose guy. Aki wewe ni mali safi, kazi safi ya Mungu. No.
You have to know each other better. There's some in-depth things you have to ask.
Hiyo ni vizuri ku appreciate yana.
Yeah.
Lakini mkijaribu muzidi kitaumana.
Yeah.
Hapo ndo unakuta jamaa ameamka ameenda msalani na sio haja yako nayo. Ameenda ku breathe. Sasa it was like this, like I told her something I learned, God taught me, like that in this matter, because we are talking about relationships that are meant for marriage. Si za kubangaiza na kupush.
Purposeful relationship.
Purposeful, correct, purposeful. Tulisema kuna purposeful na idle. Purposeful mko na sense ya direction.
Yeah.
So in ile I'm like, you know, I learned something that in this matter,
Yeah.
God is entrusting you to me. And God is entrusting me to you.
Yeah.
So the question is, are we going to be trustworthy? Then I told her,
Yeah.
just think of it this way. I'm a vessel in God's hands. You're a vessel in God's hands. If today, because God has entrusted your relationship with him to me, and he has entrusted my relationship with him to you, it should get better.
Yeah.
So let's dare fornicate today.
That's it.
So let's dare do things ambazo zita interfere na relationship yako na Mungu. Break trust, number one, before God, before breaking trust na huyu mwingine.
Yeah,
Then I told her, there's something I'll never want kusikia ikisemekana.
Yeah.
That Charity was fine until she met Benja.
That's terrible. That is very bad.
Now, Benja loved Jesus until she met Charity. Then I'm like, would you like it said when uliniangusha? No, si hata si mnaanguka nyinyi wote.
Yeah, true.
And then she was like, hey, I will never want that. Then we are like, then that being the case, we have to find a way out of how to maneuver through. Because the truth is, I love you and you love me. And the love we have here is beyond, is plus agape. It's not just agape. Yeah, I feel something for you.
Yeah.
I mean, nile nyonambiaga madam mimi hata tukutana. Learn to have what? Hata kama sitasema pesa nilikuwa nasema mtu asinde hii pesa unanja. Like there is just a clean way you can express. Huyu mtu ajue.
Yeah.
Kuna vile tu lugha yetu ya jenzi, kuna vile tu huo na every lady wants to know who ana finish jamaa wake. In one, I mean, huyu jamaa akikufikiria tu you are like,
yeah.
So they want to know that.
Yeah.
Hata ukisetiki boundaries. Singine una treat mtu ni kama kimawe. Ama una treat mtu because
Human being with feelings.
Yes, yeah, we are human beings with feelings. Now, especially as a lady, ni vizuri unakaa ukimpatia pia maneno yenyewe inafanya ajue kuna kitu hapa hivi.
Yeah, there's something.
You know, mpaka
That reassurance.
Yes, to the point that mpaka an anticipate after wedding. Jamaa, I really want to see him express because amekuwa na maneno sana like.
Yeah.
So there is that thing. There are words that will keep appetizing, keep giving that person appetite. Yeah, hii atawacha ningoje. You see that?
Yeah.
So with that, nikamwambia I'll never want to have sex with my fiancé. I'll only have sex with my wife.
So you've already made it clear to begin with. So there's no compromise there.
Yes.
Up until you're in that moment whereby you're married.
Na nikamuuliza na wewe unaonaje? Ungetaka tufungue neti before ama tupewe ruhusa ya kufungulia pale mbele? Akasema nataka. Nikamwambia hiyo barabara inakuwa na demand yake. So si tushasema what we don't want to do.
Yeah.
So we started now the checking on. Then what leads to that?
How do you get to that point?
Ngoja kuna mtu mwenye usiwahi danganywa. Hata mtu mwenye anasema gari, mimi nilipita hivyo kwa street nikapata dem tu fulani nikaanguka na yeye ati yo prostitute. Ni kitu nakuwa gemelia kwa akili, unakosa opportunity ikakuja kumalizia hapa. Hapa ni manifestation kitu imekuwa ndani. You see that?
Yeah.
So we were like, what leads to that? Nikamuuliza wewe, what do you think will finish you if I happen to do it?
Yeah.
Kanambia mimi, there are places that I'm very sure if someone dared touch, I'm gone.
That's it.
Kaambia na mimi, hii kifo ukizukaekelea yako, karash. Naanguka na
That is the end of it.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's how strong it is for me.
Yeah.
So now tukakubaliana. Of course, I liked it because again, kuweka boundaries haimaanishi ya kwamba how appreciate feelings zako.
No.
Na pia kuweka boundaries haimaanishi ya kwamba how respect feelings za huyo mtu mwingine.
No, that means you are aware of yourself more and you're setting the pace on how things should run.
Thank you. Na akaniambia enyewe si rahisi.
Yeah.
Ukweli ni ati si rahisi. Mtu mwenye unapenda, unamwona unasikia kama atatulia tu hapa hivi.
You don't want them to go away. You want them to stick around.
Oh yeah. You know, na kuna places zingine hata mkiweka boundaries lazima kuna tu situation tutakuja tukujaribu kubreak. Lazima mtatestiwa.
Yeah.
Lazima.
Once in a while.
Once in a while.
So you have to be firm. Ukiweka boundaries kweni shaky.
Yes.
Ikuwe very very firm.
Do you know what I told her? In this race, don't say he's a pastor. He has the scriptures.
Yeah.
You also have the scriptures.
Very true.
No, you just bring it in a funny way. Comic, kivyenye tu mklaga zangambia. Please, when I'm weak, be strong for me. When you are weak, let me be strong for you. So the question is, how will I know you are weak? tuongee na simu. Uliza watu kwa relationship, kuna wakati wanaongea, wakati mnaambiana, badhi unaweza taka watoto wangapi? Watatu. Mnakuwa mkiongea kuhusu biashara? Nimeachia hapo.
Okay. I think we're almost going for a break. But before that, I think we have some comments of people and what they have to say about boundaries. Maybe we can get that, and then we'll be going for a break, and then we'll be coming back to conclude this topic. Though I feel like it's still why there's so much to explore. So, man of God, we might be needing you here again to discuss more on this particular topic. But for now, wacha tusikie watu kwa streets wanasemaje kuhusu hii topic ya setting boundaries.
A lot of things. Especially someone who looks at my wife can cause me to have a boundary, or someone who is going for my daughter, a young daughter, can make me make a boundary, and somebody who feels that I'm above him and anything I give him he doesn't appreciate and feel that I'm better than him can as well make me make a boundary. Those people whom we really fear mostly are pastors, because sometimes you can get a pastor who is very close to my wife, and if he comes to visit me or to visit my wife, you can get that the eggs, he's being prepared, the eggs, the sweetest things, the utensils which have been kept for, he's the one who's being served with. You see such a thing, such a person. What do you think? Yeah, you have to set a boundary, because we don't like these pastors who come to whenever I'm going to work, and yet they are coming to see us. Such people, you have to set boundaries. Yeah.
Kuna mengi ambayo ya kadiri ikafika wakati mweza mkatengana hata kama mpendana. Watu wengi ufikiria sera ni kwa siasa. Kila nyumba, kila mtu ana sera zake. Inafikia wakati maybe sera zako na za ule mwingine zilingani. Kwa mfano unapata umeoa mwanamke. Huyu mwanamke amekuja kwako kama Waswahili usema amekuja kama na meno 32. Mama yake amekuja kama amekomaa. Vile alivyolelewa kwao nyumbani tofauti vile alivyolelewa. Sasa unapata kwanza mkipatana kuna ile maadaa ya mapenzi, baadaye kuna zile sasa mnaweka zile sera zenyu za kuishi kwenye nyumba. Unapata labda zile sera haziambatani. Na hadi hapo itafika mahali sasa moja mbili mnaanza kurushiana maneno, maybe anafanya zile vitu astahili kufanya. Kisha katika hiyo kutengamana hiyo, kile kizuri kipata kama hizo sera zenye ziandamani, ni vizuri jitenge. Sana sana mwanaume unafaa jitenge mwanzo, kwa sababu mwanamke ukianza kurushiana naye maneno hautamshinda. Na akitoka nje yeye ndio uone huruma, kwa sababu inaonekana wewe mwenye mwanaume wewe ndio mwenye nguvu. Na usemekana mwanaume akipigana na mwanamke, yeye mwanamume unakaga wewe unakakaa mtoto. Kwa sababu utakapigana na mtu unajua umemzidi nguvu, umemzidi maarifa, utamshinda.
There are several factors that will make you have personal boundaries with someone. For example, disrespect. If someone constantly shows you disrespect, you'll automatically get a personal boundary with that person. Because you realize that maybe, when you disrespect someone, it means you are going past, the line, or you are exceeding. You are getting into the, can I say, the gray line. So when someone disrespects you, then for my case, I'll create a personal boundary. Yes. Another thing, character-wise, or rather behavior. For someone who misbehaves, I'll create a personal boundary, because, for instance, if I'm going for someone for a meeting, I cannot carry such a person alongside. Are you getting it? Even when I'm having somewhere with my friends, maybe we are relaxing somewhere, I won't want to be such a person, because he might misbehave, and perhaps taint my image, So someone who misbehave, or rather such kind of characters, I'll create a personal boundary. Another thing is a bit expectations. unmet expectations. For instance, if you are my friend or you are my colleague, and I'm expecting you to do A, B, C, D as per our agreement, and you don't deliver, or rather you don't respect the agreement we had, you don't meet the expectations we set, then with time, I'll try to avoid you. That avoidance, it is the setting the personal boundary we are talking about. You getting it? There are these people who are fond of consistent negativism and criticism. Anything they see someone doing, or rather they see in you, they criticize negatively. You know, criticism should be positive, can either be positive or negative. Eh? But for someone who is consistently criticizing things negative, then this is a pessimist. I create a boundary with such a person because I will not grow in whichever the line, whichever I'm trying to, you know, to achieve. Because if he's not giving me a positive criticism, telling me, hey, you've done it well, but you can improve by doing A, B, C, D. The only thing he's seeing, the negative side of it, whatever I've done wrong. So for such a person, I'll get a boundary.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Kingdom Seekers Fellowship, Thika Road, together with Pastor Julia Karanja,
You have to fight. You must be a fighter.
invites you to Deborah Ladies Conference 2024. It will be happening on the 26th November up to the 1st of December 2024, every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The theme of the conference is Put on Your Strength in Isaiah 52:1 verse 2. Awake, awake, put on your strength, O Zion. It will be hosted by Pastor Julia Karanja.
Vitu za Mungu ni hidden. And you have to go for them spiritually fast.
Guest speakers will be Reverend Rose Chimega, Reverend Jacqueline Mwando, Reverend Phyllis Muthe, Reverend Anne Kagunda, Life Coach Viji Nchenga, Pastor Mwenda and Dr. Emma Karari. Powerful praise and worship will be led by Pastor Anthor. Pastor Maggie Kathy Praise and the KSF Thika Road Praise Team. The conference will be live on Kingdom Seekers Fellowship, Thika Road, YouTube and Facebook pages. All are welcome.
Hi parents, I'm super excited to share about our upcoming Students Church Camp from November 25th to 29th. It's going to be an incredible experience for just 1,200. We have so many fun activities planned. That's right. First, we'll have praying word trivials. I love learning about our faith in a fun way. Then, there are mentorship programs. I can't wait to chat with all the kids and learn from the experiences.
Exactly. These sessions are a great way for personal growth.
And the question and answer forums. I always have so many questions and this is the perfect chance to get answers. Plus, we'll have tons of games, team building activities and nature walks. I'm really looking forward to it.
These activities are designed to foster friendship and to build a community.
Yes, I can't wait to make new friends and create amazing memories.
Don't forget to pack your personal effects, beddings and any other essentials that your child might need.
I'm ready to go. Parents, trust me, you don't want your child to miss out on this.
Spots are limited, so make sure to sign up soon. Join us for a fantastic time of fun, faith and friendship.
Oh, and did I mention? This is the grade 4 to 8 Camp 2024.
It is hosted by our dad, Apostle John Kimani William.
I dedicate every child, even those who are adults, by the authority of their parents, we give them back to you.
And our mom, Reverend Naomi Kimani. And it is going to be a powerful and an inspiring time.
The theme is, I'm destined for greatness.
And we are drawing our inspiration from Daniel 11:32, which says, but those people who know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits.
I'm so excited to discover what greatness God has in store for us.
Don't wait, sign up today for a life-changing experience.
Ho, ho, ho!
Christmas comes early. Finesse Properties yawaletea mega end of year discount sale ya Gilgil Breeze na Gum Phase 8. Grab this chance to own a piece of Nakuru County in Gilgil this festive season. Experience unique tranquility and breathtaking panoramic view of Gilgil Breeze, located just 25 minutes drive from Gilgil town via Eburu Road, with amenities like clean water, electricity, and well-graded access roads on site. It is ideal for residential settlement, commercial settlement, holiday homes, Airbnbs, schools. Also good for farming onion, apple, nahas avocados. Very ideal for cattle, goat, and sheep keeping. Tumeshukisha bei. Jishikia plot ya 50 by 100 na 250-100K only. Pata 1 acre kwa 1 million na 5 acre block kwa 4.9 million only. Lipa mdogo mdogo payment plan available. Title inclusive within 30 days bila delay. Mega title deed issuance incoming. Funga mwaka na title deed mkononi. Proud to have served both local and diaspora client. To book your free Saturday site visit or more information, contact us on 0709 504 504 or visit our offices Nakuru Kenyatta Avenue, Belpa House, Room 3 or Ruiru Kihunguro, CNM Center, Room 16. Finesse Properties.
Validating your dreams.
Validating your dreams.
Kamkunji Business Traders invites you to Kamkunji Business Community Annual Thanksgiving Prayer Day, happening on Friday, 29th November 2024 from 9 a.m. at Kamkunji, Nairobi, next to the police station. Anointed servant of God, Apostle John Kimani William, the MBCI Director, will be ministering the Word of God in the season.
In all things, you give thanks to God, because this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus our Lord.
It is a time of thanksgiving, prayer, and being transformed. This is an interdenominational meeting, free and open to all.
It's time to step into your season of glory. The Kairos Youth Conference is here, and it's bigger than ever.
What you gonna do?
Join us from the 25th to the 29th of November 2024 at Faith Chapel, Kingdom Seekers, Nakuru, for an unforgettable week under the theme Manifesting Your Glory, inspired by John chapter 2 verse 11. Be inspired and empowered by an incredible lineup of anointed ministers of God, Apostle John Kimani William.
What you do with your youth is going to have a ripple effect into your future.
Reverend Naomi Kimani, Bishop Mwando, Reverend Evans Chumo, and Prophetess Winnie.
Majira haya, we are not giving birth to nothing.
Their messages will ignite your purpose and stir up your spirit. Experience heavenly moments of worship led by the anointed minister Sheila Juma. From Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Immerse yourself in sessions filled with powerful teachings, worship, and fellowship.
What you gonna do?
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Amazing. Welcome back from that very, very short break. Remember, you're watching the Relationship Talk Show, and my name is Sylvia Wanja. With us today, we have Pastor Benjamin, and we are discussing about setting boundaries, okay? Before we went for the break, we were listening to what people have to say about setting boundaries, and I picked something from most of the people who are communicating, that boundaries are only set after something is done to provoke them. Now, Pasi, we can maybe touch on that. Is it wise to set a boundary after ushakuwa provoked, ama how should you go about it?
Yeah, of course, tulisema kwanza most important kwa wale wenye kwanza wanaingia kwa relationships ni mwanza.
Yeah.
Lakini watu wengi ni wenye wana boundaries. Wanaziundaga wakati imeharibika. Unajua importance ya boundary, number one ina maintain respect. Inasaidia mheshimiane.
Yeah.
Na pia ina safeguard trust. Boundaries ina safeguard trust.
Yeah.
Na pia zinawasaidia mu achieve goal ya the reason ya nyinyi ku come together. Kwa hiyo relationship yenu, especially kama ni ya marriage as we are saying. Hata kwa partnership ni possible. But sasa lazima ukuwe flexible because kuna kuagana changes along the way. Watu huchange, sio vindu peke yake huchangeanga. Hata watu huchange. So in case someone changes, inakuwa mzuri because I'll say this. Kila challenge kikuja kwa life ni either uikubali ikupeleke ground ama uichukue ubuild nayo amini kusaidie ama uget experience from that. So as much as we set boundary, kuwa flexible that things do happen. Mimi naitaga, I usually call it preparing for the trouble you don't expect. Na this is not just for them wenye labda wamerealize kuna hizo my eventualities. Ni hata kwa mwenye anaanza expect hizi vitu zinaweza kufanyika. So what do you do? So una pick from the mistake. For instance, if kama ni kwa relationship, unaweza ukaingilia either your partner akianza kuonyesha ni kama hizi ni kama atazibreak. Unajua boundaries lazima ziwe na consequence. Mkiset mnaambiana in case to break, this will be. Like I told my wife, I was so serious. I was so serious for after sexual purity, and I knew the same thing in her. Kamwambia, God, if you ever knew, I will commit adultery, of course, with my fiancé. Kill me 5 minutes before. I mean, it was a crazy prayer. Mungu anatuonaga tuna ujinga yetu. But it's okay. I mean, it was to put the seriousness and then I was like, anybody who may try to disconnect me from God, I'll have no formula of disconnecting from them. Sasa hiyo ni kumwambia, ikiwezeka kuwa hivyo, akina kuacha immediately.
Hakuna mali kwenye
sina kuacha, tunaachana. The same thing na yeye alikuwa na yake. Are you seeing that? So mimi I'll say, si eventuality imefanyika. So I think number one, accept. Ishafanyika. Then kama ni mistake imefanyika, unajua kuna zile zinafanyikaga willingly. Hiyo ni tricky because na kuna zile zenye hamukuwa mnafikiria inawezafanyika. Kitu ishafanyika. Especially kwa relationship yenye nimekwambia, wengi wanakuwa overconfident and then kitu inafanyika tu. But kuna ile yenye jamaa ama madam ako intentional. Hata alipapa kukutembelea, hata hizo movie watu wamewatch. Na zikuwagi movies na kwa real life.
It happens. Ni premeditated.
Madam anajijua yeye mwenyewe. Haku disclose everything at the start. Na anajua huyu mjamaa lazima ni muimplicate. Na kabla anijue heri tu underground kidogo at least nifanye na yeye ingine ndio akijaribu kujua makosa tushaenda na yeye. So sisi wote tukue guilty pamoja. So unajuaga mtu akitaka ku cross boundaries sometimes hata kuambia lakini hata body language inakuambia, gestures zinakuambia, hata communication, hata kwa text mtu akwambie exactly this and that, lakini kuna vile ana suggest you can chip in hapo hivyo ndio like for a man it becomes easy for a lady tumia wisdom. Usikia tena kama unakashifu jamaa kama ndo na kama mwanaume hapo hivi, tumia tu wisdom yako. Lakini ikisha happen mimi nitasema hivi, ina depend na the two of you. Inaweza kufanyika and then there is one who is like mi sioni issue. The number one thing kwanza nitasema seek support. Ukisikia imekuweza kabisa na unashindwa kumanuva because I'm trying to check because kuna different things ambazo zinaweza happen. So kuna yenye itakuja it is within your ability to handle. For instance, kama ni hiyo boundary ya kuhug. For instance, mimi wakati wa rurashio nilimhug na tulikuwa tumeweka boundary ya tusihagiane. Hiyo siku nilisikia kama nimeshika piguni na nikarudi. And then with that later on of course nyote mnabaki mkiwa guilty hapo hivi. And all of you are like enyewe ni ukweli tumezi break. But what does it mean sasa ati tuende kama tume break kabisa? No, ni what led to that? So ni kama tumelearn kitu ingine yenye iko na power zaidi ya kutusaidia to break. So mna learn na hiyo mistake, mna make decisions go back now to the boundaries. Like ukisikia sasa penye nilifika tukaanza hii ni yangu na kuna yake yenye alikuwa ananiambia hii yenye ati anybody mwenye kitu yote inaweza jaribu kuni disconnect na God. Sina formula ya ku disconnect nayo. So kama ni relationship I mean as a disconnect. Ni after ku realize history ni serious kuliko vile tulikuwa tunafikiria. So inamaanisha kama hiyo imefanyika na mmekubali nyinyi wote that ni makosa and all of you are after it shouldn't happen again. Like it was a mistake. We agree.
And we're going to rectify.
Yes. Number one inamaanisha mtaget more serious. mkiwa na past experience.
Yeah.
Shida inakuaga one of you ako zile za mi by the way hata sijarealize ubaya yake.
Iko tu sawa.
Sioni ubaya yake, iko tu sawa.
Now there's a problem.
You know, and then the guy is even like he even wants more, or the lady wants more.
Yeah.
You see that? Ako ndiko mimi ndasema especially for Christians.
Tatizo run.
Wanasema kiuraroga in Kikuyu, frog jump. But seek support.
Yeah.
Seek support because ukianza relationships lazima kuna mtu mwenye mna walk na yeye.
Yeah, true.
Just learn to seek support because I'm just trying to think of a scenario ambayo like kama sasa yangu ya hug hiyo kwangu ilikuwa big issue.
It's a very big
Wewe sasa kuna mwingine kwake big issue ni kitu kingine different.
Yeah.
So number one, seek support either from your pastor, probably there is someone ambaye unajua ambaye ako na experience na ni mtu anaweza akakusaidia. Seek support. But in case ifanyike imekusaidia, imekupatia tu more knowledge na wisdom ya kuweza kujua kuna area tuko tunachukulia serious.
Yeah,
kwa hivyo kitu kaa inaweza happen. You kama sasa tuliambiana. Yeah. Kwa hivyo events zinaweza zikakoroga kitu. So sisi tukaambiana I think before then si tuta avoid zile events zenye ziko na excitement that is before marriage yetu. Zenye ziko na excitement fulani na zenye zinatupatia opportunity ya ku-exercise chenye tumekuwa start up to do. So kuna vitu tuli-avoid.
Yeah.
You see that kuna some events hata kama sio mbaya lakini unajua chenye zinakoroga tulijaribu kuzi-avoid. So but later on hata mabeshte tukiitana ati tumeitana birthday hiyo birthday tungeenda. Hiyo tulikubaliana hapo kuna because tumeona. Kwa hivyo event kuna vile zinakoroga. Ni vile tuna kitu ya kutuchocha ama ikoroge hizo ma whatever. So sisi tukaamua with that it helped us to become more serious. You see that na ni vizuri ndio set boundaries na muweze kustick nazo. Kitu muhimu ni number one, kaageni mkikumbushana. Wewe mwenyewe kaaga ukijikumbusha. Like I kept reminding myself I'll never have sex with my fiancé, I'll only have sex with my wife. That thing stuck in me until when it's a point whereby nasikia kama naweza kisuyu madam. Kusikia unasikia na uko ndani vile hata umwambii na hauifanyi. You're seeing that like that thing now begins to the words zinaanza kukuongelesha wewe mwenyewe when there is an opportunity that has come, you're reminding yourself. You see that, and then not only reminding yourself of the boundary or the commitment ambao mmemake, also remind yourself of the benefits because the benefits ziko na weight. Ebu jikumbushe na the importance ya hizi boundary. Why are we
being disciplined and maintaining
them? Yes. Why do we have to be disciplined and maintain them and to guard them? Na ujue tulisema kuna kitu inaitwa kuguard. Kuguard inakuwa hatari. Like ilifika mahali sisi kwa conversation nikarealize kuna mahali nasikia kama nitavuka boda. Because nimesema mkiwa mko relationship kwanza ya marriage na muulizana bado unataka watoto wangapi? Inaendaga hapo mtaanza kuulizana maswali zingine mingi.
In a guide.
So we chenga. So we devised a way. Ni nyinyi wenyewe mnajuana that at the end we'll be praying. So siku moja tukakula gumzo. Akaniambia omba, nikamwambia wewe omba. Kimechemka unasikia tu. So we agreed. Anytime you feel like this conversation, because when you love each other kuna conversation mnaweza mkakuwa nayo usikie imekufikisha kona. Usikie chenye sasa unataka kusikia tu ni kitu fulani. Mimi nikamwambia let's be real. Because boundary pia zinasaidia God kukuwa transparent.
True.
Juu nyinyi wote you are in to guard them. Na guarding lazima ukuwe mpaka na silaha. Na kutumia hiyo silaha inamaanisha hata wewe inaweza kudhuru. You know, na iko na uzito yake. So we will do this. Nikamwambia wakati realize ya kwamba tumebreak still on that, tukarealize ya kwamba kwa communication, because you set financial boundaries, you set boundaries kwa communication, boundaries za interaction. Kuna wenye mpaka wanasetigi dates, naambiana kama sasa tukianza tuliambianaga si tusikutane siku za kwanza tusikutane more frequent, kwa sababu uko mbele kwanza tukipanga wedo tutakuwa tunakutanaga kila siku. Na mkianza kukutana kila siku kuna kitu tu kanaenda kiingia gato. You know,
kama zoea na familiarity fulani.
Sasa tukaambiana this when you go to the hotel, unajua kwanza mkikaa na mtu mkikaribia unaanza kurealize kuna kuaga na nini so like unaanza kuona kama kuna vitu vingine Mungu ameanza kuumba
akiwekaga, you start realizing some things you didn't.
Alafu na kwanza for me as a man, ukiambia lady she's like me, she is noticing. Ati kai mpaka unakuta umeng'edheria mtu ile kuzibaia mtu and then you're like unaangalia nini kai. I had never seen that nose. I mean, sijaona hii magoti, sijakai vidole. No, kuna vile tu.
Yeah.
So nikamwambia na tukakubaliana. Tukiwa hata kwa hoteli, usikie ndani kabisa imechemka, niambie tu. Because tena ikichemka na ukosa kuniambia tutachemshana utanikoroga tu. So like there is a point I'll get to and I feel like mimi ikipita hapa nasikia tu nishiko huyu madam mahali. Now you are a human being.
Yeah.
Kuset boundaries imaanisha ati ushinde ati ukisikia ati nasikia shindwe. Na hawa shindwe wanasemaga shindwe alafu wanashindwa. Ni ile you just agree.
Yeah.
Tuzingine ni wisdom ya God, just agree. Nikamwambia na mimi ndo nilianza siku moja nikasikia huyu madam. And then I'm like mimi mpaka nywele yako na vile imekuja hivi. Najua mara ya kwanza mkibebwa na shughuli za harusi muonai kitu kingine. Sasa ifike mahali mbakisha mwezi moja, sasa ni mafundi tu. So mkikutana mpaka stories za harusi mmepanga, you are like, aya, but it's you.
Yeah.
Unaanza kuona tu vitu vingine then
like
wewe comment utajua kwa nini Adam mali yangushiaga tu hivi mustari alafu wakaenda hiyo lugha ya vijana wakaanguka nayo. But for them for them they did the right way. But I'm using the language ya Gen Z.
Yeah.
So we did that. Still in communication kwa simu tukaambiana.
Yeah.
Kuna point ikifika tuambiane tu kweli.
Yeah, don't like
kuna point ilikuwa inafika. Unajua kwanza watu wapenda nao wakiwa before hata credit toshagi. Minutes. Credo. Unarealize baadaye nimekula break. So ni ile kuna point inafikaga you are like akikipita hapa na mimi ndo naombesha leo. So you help me, I help you. You see?
Yeah.
So like kindly nikamwambia siku yoyote ukisikia nimekuambia tulale. Ujue tu mimi niko pika.
Yeah. No.
So mimi ndo nilianzaga.
Then ikakuwa ni kitu yenye mnaifanya concurrently.
Yes. So na akaichukua. Do you see, but hiyo imekuja after tumerealize boundaries zetu kuna mahali tumebreak. So ichukue nyinyi wote mkuwe willing kuguard hizo boundaries because mnajua benefit ni for the two of you. Si ndio? So tulichukua hiyo inatusaidia sasa kuweza ku make it straight. Ni kama ng'ombe ikuje ukute imeweza kuingisha kichwa na ikakula mahindi. Hiyo inakwambia aje? Wewe hiyo fence yako inahitaji inapita na so inakwambia hiyo fence yako sio serious. Ni either uweke waya mesh nyingine katikati ama utafute hizi zenye zinakuwa tu box kwa sababu yes in so case yes
you need to readjust.
Yes.
Ukiona hii kama haiko farm vizuri.
Na unatumia the previous experience. You see that? Yes.
To make sure you set it well.
Sure, but most important kwa watu wenye you are starting something. Ketini chini. Nyinyi wote see to it all the possible eventualities zinaweza kukaa huko mbele. Na pia mwambiane in case there is anything in between to go flexible, we can change. But you are not changing in a way that muna lessen the chenye muliset mwanzo. You are changing in line with the boundaries, in line with the goal ya kuset boundaries ya kuwasaidia kuachieve a certain goal. So
wow, amazing. Setting boundaries, a conversation that I feel still has so much that we need to explore. And maybe if God allows and if time allows, Pastor, we would like to have you back again so that we can keep discussing that particular topic on setting boundaries, because I know hata maswali hatujaziguzia na najua maswali ziko nyingi sana. So yes, thank you so much for coming and for availing yourself and giving us time and for the words that you have given unto us. I'm hoping that as young people tumezishika na tunazi implement. Tulisema si kusikia tu, ni listening intentionally and implementing what you have heard, okay? So that you can stay in relationships that are healthy, relationships that are God-ordained, relationships that will make God happy, okay? Amazing. So maybe, Pastor, in 1 minute, you can invite the youth who are not yet here for Kairos Youth Conference. Wakuja waweze kubarikiwa.
Oh, yes. And thank you. We have Kairos Youth Conference 2024 going on here at Kingdom Seekers Fellowship Church, Nakuru, at Faith Chapel. That's where we are. We started yesterday.
Yes.
We really had good sessions. I mean, we had a good time in His presence yesterday.
Wow.
And today being the second day, it has already started. And I tell you, we are having moments of encountering God.
Wow.
And we are also having a good time spending time with Him. There are those ones that are able to come. If you can be on ground, don't be online. For
Yeah.
those ones who are online, tuko live pia kwa pages zetu,
Yeah.
and then later on kwa kina Lunch Hours na Morning Glories ziko pia kwa Apostle John Kimani William, YouTube na Facebook. Na at this juncture, I must say a big thank you to our spiritual parents, Apostle John Kimani William, and our mom, Reverend Naomi, for the support, the counsel, the direction, the permission, and all the assistance they have given us to have the conference.
Yeah.
Nobody should charge you anything. It is free.
Yeah.
Wale wenye wanataka kuja kuboard, you're welcome.
Accommodation is available
Iko.
for free.
Na hakuna mtu amekuitisha kitu.
Wow.
Yeah, so we really want to thank God for that. Tafadhali watu waendelee kukuja.
Yes.
Na mtu asingojee ati Friday ati we wacha ningojee Friday ati ndio katakuwa kameiva. Hapana. It is precept upon precept. Precept upon precept. Pastor Eliud alisema siku moja akasema kuna watu sijui ati ukikuja conference ulikuwa unapewa sijui kiatu, unapewa tai, unapewa shati, unapewa koti. Sasa kuna wenye walikujaga siku za mwisho na sasa chenye umekuwa ukipanda ndio ulikuwa unafaa uvae siku ya mwisho. Sasa siku ya mwisho kuna mtu alikuwa tu amepewa tai. So you can imagine so come and receive it all. So
Yeah.
karibuni sana na thank you for them that are following us.
Wow, amazing. So young people, tupatane Kairos Youth Conference, okay? We get an encounter, we get to grow, we get to fellowship together as young people. No, use your youth to worship and to serve the Lord, okay? Saizi ndo uko na nguvu, saizi ndo uko na time, so make good use of it, okay? Amazing. So we're going to get relation tips, and then we'll be coming back with a guest, the surprise guest that I was talking about, and make sure you stick around for that. It's a continuation of the topic that we were discussing, and also some other thing, a special thing that she is going to share with us today, so stick around for that.
Hello and welcome to Relation Tips. My name is Joyce Anderson. Today we are going to talk about setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is one of the most important skills we should develop for maintaining our well-being. It's not about building walls, rather it's about creating a space where we can thrive. Here are some of the points you can use in setting boundaries. Number 1, know your limit. Take time to reflect on what you need and understand what you require physically, emotionally, and mentally. Knowing your boundaries is the first step towards setting them. Number 2, communicate clearly. Yes, boundaries are personal, but they should be shared with others in order to establish an understanding in the relationship. It is important to also be direct and honest about your needs and feelings without having to justify or apologize because of your boundaries. Number 3, say no without limits. It's okay to say no because you do not have to please everyone, and saying no is a form of self-respect and not selfishness. Boundaries help you conserve your energy, protect your peace, and focus on what truly matters to you. Number 4, be consistent. Once you've set boundaries, stick to them. This helps others to understand and respect your limits. If a boundary is crossed, gently but firmly reinforce it. Remember, not everyone will understand or accept your boundaries, and that's okay. Be patient and firm, and stand by your decisions with kindness and respect. Number 5, re-evaluate. Boundaries are not cast on stone. Life changes and so do your needs. Check in with yourself once in a while and adjust your boundaries where necessary. Remember, setting boundaries isn't always easy, but boundaries are an act of self-love and self-respect.
Hi parents, I'm super excited to share about our upcoming Students' Church Camp from November 25th to 29th. It's going to be an incredible experience for just 1,200. We have so many fun activities planned.
That's right.
First, we'll have praying word trivials. I love learning about our faith in a fun way. Then, there are mentorship programs. I can't wait to chat with all the kids and learn from the experiences.
Exactly. These sessions are a great way for personal growth.
And the question and answer forums. I always have so many questions, and this is the perfect chance to get answers. Plus, we'll have tons of games, team building activities, and nature walks. I'm really looking forward to it.
These activities are designed to foster friendship and to build a community.
Yes, I can't wait to make new friends and create amazing memories.
Don't forget to pack your personal effects, beddings, and any other essentials that your
child might need. I'm ready to go. Parents, trust me, you don't want your child to miss out on this.
Spots are limited, so make sure to sign up soon. Join us for a fantastic time of fun, faith, and friendship.
Oh, and did I mention? This is the grade 4 to 8 Camp 2024.
It is hosted by our dad, Apostle John Kimani William.
I dedicate every child, even those who are adults, by the authority of their parents, we give them back to you.
And our mom, Reverend Naomi Kimani. And it is going to be a powerful and an inspiring time.
The theme is, I'm destined for greatness.
And we are drawing our inspiration from Daniel 11:32, which says, but those people who know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits.
I'm so excited to discover what greatness God has in store for us.
Don't wait, sign up today for a life-changing experience.
Yes, welcome back from that short break. Kumbuka tumepata the relation tips. Zilikuwa zina emphasize about setting those boundaries. Saying no without feeling guilt. I think that is something that we need to discuss on another occasion because most of us are focused on being nice and not good. So you lack boundaries, people walk all over you, they disrespect you, alafu unapata una set boundaries after ushawapea liwe, like umeka boundary wakiwa ndani so they can keep disrespecting you and doing whatever they feel like. Because haukuweka boundaries prior to, and we have learned it's important for you to be self-aware, learn from others' experiences, and then set your boundaries from the word go. Okay, and you can learn from the mistakes that you have made to make sure that you reinforce those boundaries. Ndo watu wasiweze kupata access to it. Now the guest that I was talking about is here with us today, and I don't want staki ku nini na bado we know upo staki ku iyo imekataa kukuja, but let's just go with it. Hi.
Hello.
We're so happy to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
For the people who are watching you here for the very first time, maybe you can give them an intro using this camera.
Okay, thank you so much, Sylvia.
Yes.
My name is Grace Oirimo. I am a counseling psychologist, and I'm also a certified grief educator.
Wow, a counseling psychologist.
Yeah.
Now, today we're talking about a very interesting topic about setting boundaries.
Okay.
Na tumepata so much and so much guidance from Pastor Benjamin.
Yeah.
Now we would like to know from a psychologist's perspective, a counseling psychologist's perspective, what would you say on setting boundaries?
What I would say about setting boundaries, these are expectations and needs that kila mtu anahitaji for any relationship to thrive.
Yeah.
But I want to look at it from this perspective. Our environment while growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring the perspective of our environment. In this case, first of all, let me introduce the aspects of your brain and how we grow up.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm using the from a point of psychology. So this is the frontal part of the brain that is innate to our cortex, and then we have something called the amygdala, which is called the emotional brain. So when we were growing up and how we were being taught, if you came from an environment where there was so much trauma, I'm sure most of us by now tunajua kuhusu trauma. When we grew up in environments where we were not affirmed, where we grew up in environments that were not safe, mostly as a client, ukiwa na shida, who you go to first of all? And so so we look at somebody who doesn't have a boundary as somebody mwenye akona shida. But do we ask ourselves what happened to this person for them to be like that? Thank you. So for somebody who wants to put a boundary, si tunaangalia umse hana boundary. But do you know, as I'm teaching you about the brain, the cortex is the thinking part of the brain, it's the rewarding part of the brain. And also, now the amygdala. Amygdala is in charge of emotions. That is where the depression is. There is something called the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response, ziko hapo. And so, for example, I need to put a boundary with my boyfriend. And ninajua ningesemanga kitu kwetu, for example, I'm going to use that for example, kulikuwa na kitu inaitwa that if I spoke up, do you remember? Yeah, you're supposed to be seen and not heard. So in this, when I get into this relationship, kutakuwa na hiyo fear. And so when I'm trying to speak up, ninakuwa very afraid. And so what will I do? I will people please. We look sometimes as people pleasing kama something. What is wrong with mtu anapenda ku people please? But do you know, Sylvia, that people pleasing is a coping mechanism? I want people to like me. I want people to appreciate me. So that is when we are looking at people pleasing, I usually tell a client, what happened to you? And when you get to what happened to you, because boundaries inatupatianga identity, who are you? Inakudefine. So when I look at it, when I look at boundaries, nimekwambia it's, we feel seen and we feel safe to be able to connect with somebody. So I want to challenge people, Leo, when you're looking at somebody who doesn't have a boundary, don't look at it from a perspective, mtu akona shida. What happened to this person? What were their childhood like? The background. The background, yeah, because also this person could have maybe alilelewa in different homes. Maybe this person grew up with an alcoholic father. Like wameona hizi trauma zote. And so that is why we see that people hawana boundaries. That is why people don't have boundaries, because I'm scared. I'm scared if I say no. And then the amygdala. The amygdala is the emotional part of the brain, and it is very, very, it controls. It controls. That is why unaona mtu, the fight flight response ziko hapo. So like somebody tells me nifanyie, I want A, B, C, na D. And you, my guess. Yes, because our brain, they have neurons. Brain yetu like the way we are having a conversation, our brains are doing so much work hapo kwa brain yetu, like and because the subconscious control the conscious, that is why we see people don't have boundaries. And sometimes you see somebody mwenye akona very rigid boundary, that person has a wall. You know why that person has a wall? Again, what happened to them in their childhood. And also we also bring the aspect of the attachment, because you have people who have secure attachment, we have people who have anxious attachment styles, we have people who have avoidant. And so somebody with a secure attachment atakuwa sawa na boundary. But somebody who has an anxious attachment style, they don't want to be rejected. Now see, it's not them, it's what happened to them. What they went through. What they went through. And somebody who has an avoidant attachment, akona a very rigid, they may or may not have a very rigid, boundary. So when it comes to boundaries, that is from a psychologist perspective, that is what I just wanted to say.
Wow. Yeah. That is really amazing. You've brought out something that we might have overlooked when we were discussing it before. That mtu ndo akue hana boundaries. Ama to a point whereby they're not setting effective boundaries. It could stem from somewhere. It has grown from somewhere. And mostly it's attached to their childhood. What they experienced, how the environment shaped them to become who they are now. But just because you're a people pleaser, don't stay there. You need to go see a counseling psychologist, uweze evaluate the situation, know how you can get better, and then you keep moving towards becoming a better version of yourself. And each and every day is a learning experience. Each and every day you learn new things about yourself, things that you can correct, things that you can work on. It's all about self-awareness and self-discovery. Each and every day you learn something new about yourself. Just make sure you put in the work to actually want to know more about you and how you can be better. You've actually prompted a topic that we were supposed to discuss next week on attachment styles. And that is a very, very interesting topic. So next week nishawambia nini tuna discuss next week. Kwa hivyo usikose kukuja hapa. Ujue kama wewe ni avoidant, wewe ni secure, wewe ni anxious. What attachment style do you have? Okay? Amazing. So let's get started on the event, the special event that we have. Okay. Let's talk more about that.
So I began by telling you, apart from being a therapist, I'm also a grief educator, a certified grief educator. So this event is for caregivers. I am. You said a certified grief educator. Can you? It's a grief. What does grief mean? So grief means what grief actually means. It's the loss of something, and the loss of something affects us socially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and nimesahau yengine. So when we lose something, when you lose a job, it affects you. It affects how you view yourself. It affects your spirituality. If it affects you mentally, it makes you even sick. I always say the body keeps the score. So it will affect you physically. I'm going to speak specifically specifically on the loss of a loved one. So we see mtu akiaga dunia, it affects you physically, it affects you mentally, it affects you emotionally. Your spirituality, you question God.
It's also
and it affects you socially because there is something called secondary losses. And secondary losses are, now I have lost a loved one. Even the kind of people I used to hang around, like if it's a parent, people who have parents, kuna vile nitafeel our conversations have shifted, na wataogopa kuniongelesha. When it comes to emotions, like your emotions, you will, normally tunasumingi there are the 5 stages of grief, but grief it isn't linear. We have so many. I love using the horseshoe model of grief to explain that grief, actually, I'm going to use a you, na imeja madhokodhanio. So that is how the brain, again, I'm going to go back to the brain. I really love the brain, and I research on the brain because that is how the brain huwa inachukua grief. So you can go from shock to depression to anxiety, like within a minute. So that is what grief is. It's a loss of something or somebody, and it affects us socially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You had prepared some slides
to
help in the presentation.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start using them.
Yeah, we
for
can.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you can pick it from here.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so they've used the wrong slides.
Oh, okay. It's all right. Before we get that sorted, maybe we can now get to discuss the event that is happening, that is coming up.
So the upcoming event inaitwa the Heart Behind Care, honoring caregivers.
Yeah.
And caregivers, Sylvia, these are people who are taking care of people who have lost their loved ones. These are people who are taking people who are not feeling well, first of all.
Yeah.
It could be mtu alipata mtoto and the child is abled differently. It could be, it's generally people who take care of people. And in Kenya, we have more untrained. I'm sure you know of a few people, even our parents at their old age, we are taking care of them.
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa it's because of diabetes, because of cancer, because of very different things.
Yeah,
and I'm not just, Sylvia, I'm not just organizing this event as an event, I'm as a professional. I lost both my parents, my mom, about 10 years ago from cancer, and then my dad passed on as a result of not being able to move on from the grief of my mom. And that is how I ended up, and I got sick because I was their caregiver, because it was such a lonely journey. I didn't understand because grief is not linear, and grief, I usually say grief, when upelekwi shule unaambiwa this is how you grieve, and sometimes you might not even fit into the model of grief. And so as I was thinking, I had a sister who got sick last year, but she got well. And in my caregiving journey, I was very stressed. There was the shock, there was the financial constraints, there were the medical, like sometimes we will go to hospital usiku, saa 8 za usiku, and all the stress that came from it. And so when I sat down, and when she got better, I said, a caregiver, one, they might lose a loved one. Two, the loved one might get well. But what happens to this caregiver? Amele maisha yake for 2 years, 6 months, 3 months. How many times do we go to hospital and ask a caregiver uko aje?
Yeah, very rare. They expect it to be okay.
We are expecting them to be okay. So what we normally do na si kupenda, and I'm challenging people, when you go to visit somebody who is sick, can you ask that caregiver? Because saa zingine, do you know some caregivers live wanalala chini ya kitanda? What? It happens. I have been in hospital with my parents. Some caregivers, there is nowhere to sleep and you're very exhausted. Analala chini ya kitanda. Analala chini. And that is love.
For the person
who is sick, you're being there. And sometimes hautaki, but you love this person and you have to do this person. It could be a brother, it could be a father, and you love them so much. And what happens in my counseling, and even from my own personal experience, kuna kitu inaitwa prolonged grief. Because a caregiver goes through, we've said grief is the loss of something. A caregiver ame lose maisha yake, ame lose friends. friends wake. They even lose their livelihoods.
Yeah.
And you have people who are asking you, unafanya kazi siku hizi? And they don't know the emotional toll that comes with looking after a sick person. Yes, kuna madaktari, but there is such, you have to be there. This is your person. And their health inaku affect psychologically, inaku affect socially, inaku affect mentally, inaku affect spiritually. Me, I would question God. And I would like, God, why? Why me? And I'm sure I am not the only caregiver who has done that, who has questioned God, because I've met caregivers in my journey, even in hospitals. And so from that, something was born. Mimi nilisema, out of the eater, something came sweet. Something sweet came out of it. And this, I'm doing it as a passion, and I'm also doing it as a way of honoring caregivers, people who give so much, and rarely do we appreciate them. Nasi kupenda, it's because we assume that they are very strong. We assume caregivers are very strong. Na saa zingine hatujui, it's the grace of God that carries us. Because hadi saa zingine, how many caregivers do you know somebody dies ama wanafungua like a WhatsApp group, can you support me? Because hii ugonjwa imekuwa very expensive. And sometimes we even judge them. Hatujui story yao. And so this is a platform for caregivers to come. And we want to honor you. We are going to honor caregivers. We are going to be there. We are going to have open and raw conversations. We will cry. We will laugh. We will listen to what caregivers did. We will talk about, we're going to unmask caregiving vilaiko. We're going to talk about burnout. We are going to have a doctor. I don't work alone because hakuna mtu anakuanga na knowledge ya kila kitu. And because of that, and because this is my calling, this isn't just a vision for me. This is a calling. And I work with a doctor. So this year we are going to have Dr. Oyaro. She's going to speak on physical health and how because sometimes we assume that hypertension is as a result of a lifestyle. Do you know I had hypertension as a result of caregiving and the stress that comes with it, but I'm now well, nilipona. Yeah, I went for therapy, I took medication, and God healed me. The second person we are going to have we are going to have a nutritionist. Her name is Mary Wairimo. A nutritionist is going to guide us. How can you even bite? Hata kama like you don't have to have 5,000 shillings for you kukula vizuri. Because a caregiver anakuwa mgonjwa. I have been sick. I have lost blood na sikuwa nikijua. So I'm taking my sister to hospital, and I'm also realizing I'm feeling very weak. Why? So I also get to the lab and I find out damu yangu haitoshi. And I talk to another caregiver and I ask them, have you gone through this? And they tell me yes. And so I felt I'm going to have a nutritionist because I want to teach caregivers. We go back to boundaries. As you're taking care of somebody else, how about taking care of yourself? Pia sahio. How about like excusing yourself and feeling sina emotional capacity sai? Let me just take 5 minutes for myself. And then we are going to have DJ Kroba. He's going to speak about caregiving and the strength behind caregiving, and he's also going to share his story. And I'm going to also speak.
Wow.
I'm going to speak about grief, mental health, and its relation to caregiving. So the event is going to be this coming Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Sarova Woodlands. Charges advance ni 2,000. Ukiangalia hapo kwa ticket, unaweza lipa via ticket base ama unaweza lipa via the till. It ends from 11 to 4 p.m. itakuwa Sarova, and we are going to have a whole discussion. We are going to have amazing and incredible MCs, Masai and Jacinta wa Yesu, and then we are just going to have a raw conversation. And then on that day, I'm going to launch resources for caregivers because caregivers hakuna resources. And by the grace of God, I'm going to launch resources that are going to guide caregivers going henceforth. And this event isn't just for somebody, isn't just for caregivers wenye wanaangalia wagonjwa at home. It is also if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, and you feel this is and I'm welcoming you because I feel this is a space that you will understand yourself as a caregiver. We are going to talk about the brain. So for this and much more, attend the event.
Yes, attend the event.
Yeah, attend the event.
So that you can be able to learn much more when it comes to matters caregiving. And now that you have actually mentioned it, I've realized how caregivers have been set aside, have been put to the side. Rarely do you go and ask the person who is doing the caregiving how they are. You're so focused on the one who is sick. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but also ask the caregiver, how are they doing? Do most of them go into depression? Like they're always there, they're always hanging around. And you have shared your personal experience and how it led you into this vision that you now believe is your calling when it comes to matters dealing with caregivers. You have been sick even from caregiving. So what would you tell other caregivers out there who are maybe in that particular situation right now? They're trying to make sure that everything is okay, but the one that they're taking care of is okay, but are forgetting themselves.
First of all, I want to affirm them. About when my sister got sick, somebody affirmed me and they know themselves. They just came and told me, Grace, I know what you're going through. And so I want to affirm every caregiver. Thank you for what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. Inaweza kuwa haionekani, but you are an amazing person because you have laid your life for somebody else. And you might not have a job. You might be a father somewhere and you're wondering, his bills and these medical bills and these school fees that inaniangalia, what happens? I want to tell you that you're doing an amazing job. Like nobody can do what you're doing like the way you're doing it. Secondly, I want to tell them, care for yourself. Take a break, a 5-minute break. Ask somebody, ask for help. Just tell somebody, even if kama uko hospitali, niangalilie umgonjwa 5 minutes. Fika kwa gate, like just take a breather. Just take a breather, walk kidogo. Call a safe person and just tell them, I'm going to, we just don't talk to everybody.
Very true.
Yeah.
You can't open up to everyone.
We can't open up to everybody. Just tell somebody, you know who is safe. Hi, I'm not doing okay. Can you hold a safe space for me for 5 minutes? And utapata, as you're speaking with them, you're beginning to feel encouraged. And something I want to tell a caregiver, it will not last. One day it will be, it is okay. First of all, it's okay to not be okay. Secondly, the caregiving journey will come to an end. And in one way or another, you will find your footing again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. And when it comes to counseling psychology, did you pursue it before you started your journey as a caregiver, or did it happen as a result of everything that you went through as a caregiver?
So I started my journey after the loss of my dad, especially because it really shook me. And I was trying to find, so I had something we would call, something that is called complicated grief. So I would go for therapy, but like 4 years after my dad passed on, still ninge can't feel he has passed on jana. And so I began to research. So when I went to therapy, I began to, as a result of the homework nilikuwa nikipewa, I began to research. I began to be curious. I asked myself, what is this? And I began now to take courses, international courses. And the reason why I took those courses is because, first of all, I wanted them to help me. And the second thing, I wanted them to help Kenyans. And this is what I say. If I help one client, if I help 2 clients, then my purpose imekuwa fulfilled on earth. If I can help somebody, because Sylvia, grief is very complicated. If I can work with somebody, if I can create a safe space for you,
that's all that matters.
That is all I'm called to do. That is my calling. So I take my I take what I do as a calling. That is how serious I do it from the heart, and I offer my services from the heart, because although they were born from a place of pain, I now have a purpose. I know I can tell somebody, after 10 years, I saw the light. After 8 years, I saw the light. Na pia wewe, you can see the light. And that is how I ended up taking courses on, a course on grief, a course on counseling psychology, a course on grief education, and a course on trauma. Because I want to see how we take grief in Kenya ikibadilika. That is my desire, to see that that people who are grieving, they are created kukona a safe space. That people who are taking care of their loved one, even in their working places, even with their friendships, that tusiogope kumuuliza. You can just have a conversation. Maybe that person wants to tell you about their friend, their husband, because they just want to have a conversation. Usiogope, just create that safe space and you will be amazed. Na hiyo inasaidia, the person doesn't feel lonely. Hata feel ako peke yake. They will know somebody is walking with them in kwa hii journey. And don't tell them to move on. We have spoken about the brain. The brain takes a long time to heal. So yeah, and even sometimes I usually say grieving, kuna living fully and grieving fully. It's okay for a friend to grieve fully, to cry for 30 minutes and to be able to work. It's okay for somebody to grieve. It is very much okay. Yeah, that is what I just want to tell people. It is okay. But if we have safe spaces for people who are grieving, we will see that we are not losing people as a result of grief. Because we have caregivers who take care of their loved ones and they end up getting sick. I know this from experience. They themselves, the toll gets on them, and 3 years down the line, we lose this caregiver. They die. We don't ask ourselves what happened to them. So that is my mission and that is my vision, to educate people on grief and how they can work with people who are grieving on their journey.
Wow, this talk is reminding me of a time we covered something on grief and loss and how it affects someone. And I think it's a topic that we need to rehash again. I'm hoping that maybe we can find you for a different session so that we can be able to talk about it in depth. This year has had a lot. We've had so many people experience loss and grief. Some have not gotten over the loved ones that they lost this particular year and are still trying to catch up with everything and making sure that they're staying afloat despite that weight that they're carrying on their shoulders of grief and losing their loved one. So yes, wow, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. So you can share with us where we can find you, maybe through social media platforms, for anyone who wants to see you and get counseling maybe, or maybe wants to talk to you again about grief or loss that they have experienced. You can do that using this camera right here.
So you can find me on Facebook at Wairimu J Waweru, and you can also find me on Instagram at Wairimu_Waweru, but on Instagram, my Wairimu has a UH_Waweru. And then you can find me on TikTok at Wairimu Uticas1. That is where I post I'm posting the flyers about the event, and that is where you can find me. My office is at DND Plaza, floor number 6. Yeah, so you can find me there.
DND Plaza. Floor number 6.
Yeah, here in Nakuru.
Okay, amazing. And is there a contact number?
Yeah, my contact number is 0711 590 363.
You can take it one more time.
0711 590 363.
Amazing. Wow. So if you need maybe counseling services, you have what it takes. You have the information, you have the number, you have the location, you have everything that you need so that you can be able to go through. And then there's that event, please, this Saturday, right? From 11 all the way till?
To 4 p.m.
To 4 p.m.
Please invite a friend. Please come if you know a caregiver. Karibuni sana. We are going to have an insightful day. This isn't just an event. This is a safe space. We are going to talk, we are going to have conversations, and we are going to launch resources for caregivers. And I mean it when I say that. So this isn't something to miss. We are not just going to have an event. This is a safe space where we can come, it's a calm place, we can have a conversation. We are going to eat beer because we are going to take care of ourselves physically.
Wow. So make sure you find your way to Sarova Woodlands. That is this Saturday 30th from 11 all the way to 4 p.m. All the caregivers, doctors. Can anyone just come even though they're not caregivers?
Yeah, you can come. You're invited. You can come and listen to the experiences. Tickets go for 2,000 advance. And on that day, tickets will go for 2,500 shillings. And if you can pay for somebody, I'm inviting you. And if you would like to maybe support somebody, please, you can contact me on 0711 590 363. the intention is to get this information out here so that we can be able to help more people. So karibuni sana sana sana.
Knowledge is important. Usi-ignore ama useme uieke kando because you're not involved as a caregiver. Who knows what the future holds? And I'm not saying that bad things are coming. All I'm saying is that it's important for you to be equipped, okay? So make sure you make your way there. Thank you so much for coming and even for sharing about this event. There's a video clip that's going to play after this. But for now, thank you so much for being a part of today's show. I trust and hope that you have had a chance to learn so much from when we started up until now, and I'm hoping you're going to implement. So that brings us to the end of the show, that the Relationship Talk Show. My name is Sylvia Wanja. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Have a blessed, blessed week. May God guide you. Keep on pursuing your destiny. Keep on pursuing your purpose, and may God be with you and keep you. For now, let's get that clip that you're going to watch concerning the event. And please, 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 if you're in a position to, make sure you make your way to Sarova Woodlands and or also get that advance ticket or go pay at the gate, or if you can pay for someone, come up on other engagement somewhere, you can also contact Grace for that. But for now, enjoy the rest of your viewing. Bye-bye.
Hello everybody, my name is Grace Wairimo. I am the heart and founder of Grief Uncensored KE, and I'm also the face behind the upcoming event, the Heart Behind Care Honoring Caregivers, which will be here in Nakuru at Sarova Woodlands on the 30th of November from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The reason behind this event is because I have been a caregiver myself to my late parents, and most recently to my sister who got well. And in my journey, I realized the loneliness that comes with the journey. I realized that sometimes our friends fall off because the burden of caregiving becomes too much. I thought about the family wrangles that go about caregiving. I thought about the depression because also the caregiver mourns the loss of their lives. I thought about our caregiver and how we lay our lives for the people that we love. I thought about the wisdom that comes with caregiving. And that is why I am inviting everybody. If you know a caregiver, please invite them. If you are a caregiver, please come. We will love to have you. We will have insightful speakers. We will have Dr. Oyaro, who will speak on how to care for your health as a caregiver. And we will also have a nutritionist who is going to speak to us about nutrition and caregiving. We will also have DJ Kroba, who is our keynote speaker, who is going to speak about caregivers. And I will also be speaking on mental health, caregiving, and grief. And we will also have our incredible MCs, Jacinta and Masai Wayesu. Advance tickets go at 2,000 shillings, and at the gate it's 2,500 shillings. Karibuni sana, and I'm hoping to see you there. Bye, guys.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Did you know this December you can own a plot and get a mbuzi? Imara Lands brings you a